Now we're doing FreeCodeCamp Legacy Python for everybody, web services APIs. All right, so before we get into it, let's make sure we got our notes out. Let's do that. Boom. Hold on. There we go. Let's go scroll all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to put the date on this because I've got a little thing I'm doing. So I'm going to just grab this and I'm going to slap this down here. All right. And change this to today's date. Boom. All right. And there's that. So now that we've done that, let's get to it. Let's get to it right now. How about that?
So now that we're solving
our
problem using a series of cooperating applications communicating across a network, we're going to talk a little bit more detail about the notion of what we call web services. And in this, we're going to take a different perspective. Instead of building our application and breaking it into pieces, we're going to have an application that's going to really consume an API from somebody else. So there is some other provider of this API that's not us.
Yeah. All right. So let's write this down. Application Program Interface. That's what API stands for. After so long, it turns out that's what it means. All right, so let's do that right now. Application Program Interface. Application Program Interface. There we go. Oops. Hold on. Oh, here we go. The API itself is largely abstract in that it specifies an interface. Let's bring this up. And controls the behavior of the objects specified. What is this? Hold on. We're going to have to ChatGPT this for sure, because this is already too much for me. Behavior, eh? Hey, behavior. All right. Specified in that interface. Okay. Let's come down here. The software that provides the functionality described by an API is said to be an implementation of the API. Oh, now let's drop this down and spell it right. Why not? said. Here we go. And then like that. And then we'll come over here and we'll say this. An API is typically defined in terms of the programming language used to build an application. Oh, okay. So yeah, you know what we're gonna do with this? We're gonna be real cool. We're gonna be real 2024. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna double click this. We're gonna say like this. I'll bring this over here to make sure everything's cool. It's not cool. Okay, there we go. And we got ChatGPT right here. All right. So what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna say, let's copy this, and then we're gonna come over here to ChatGPT and so we're gonna say, simplify this. I mean, like, put the sentences on new lines so it's actually easy to read. All right. So an API defines a set of rules and behaviors for interacting with software, but it doesn't provide actual functionality. Okay, it makes sense. All right, so that makes sense. It just makes rules, but it doesn't actually provide the functionality. Rules, set of rules for interacting with software, but it doesn't provide actual functionality. Okay. The software that follows these rules is called APIs implementation. Okay. APIs are usually described using the programming language used to build the application. Okay. So these are the rules for other people to use the software. All right, that's what that is. The software follows these rules. The software that follows these rules is called API implementation. So when you see an API or when there is an API, that's an API implementation. And they're usually described using the programming language used to build the application. So if it's a JavaScript app, it's going to be a JavaScript API. Okay. It's going to be written in, yeah, the API is going to be written in JavaScript. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going.
And so if you're going to talk to somebody's data like Google or Amazon or Twitter, they're going to say, you have to use our API. So what's that? So an API is a contract that says, look, if you do this and this and this and this, we're going to give you data this way. And they set the rules. They tell you what the URLs are. They'll tell you if it's XML or JSON. And this is called the application program interface. And it's something you read and you understand. And so you go look at the documentation. This is documentation for the Google Maps API.
It's very
so
small.
It turns out that Google knows a lot about maps. It knows a lot of data. It knows how to search maps. And it actually provides some of those features to you that your application can take advantage of. I took advantage of this at one point by asking all the students in one section of one of my online courses where they were from. And I just let them type in where it was. And then I said, well, I don't know how to code any of that. So I used this API doing what's called geocoding to look all those places up and get precise latitudes and longitudes for the ones Google could figure out. And that saved me a lot of work. Now, these are expensive resources, but I could be patient and make use of these resources, which as long as you use them not too much, they can be free. We'll talk a little bit more about rate limiting and what's free and what's not in a bit. But you start by reading documentation. It says, do this, hit this URL, hit that URL. So if you read that documentation, you will find that there is a URL that you can hit. And they tell you where to go. And then you go to this URL, you add a question mark, and then you say address equals, and then Ann Arbor plus. And there's all these rules. These are called URL encoding rules when you have key values on URLs. The plus means space and %2c means comma. So these are called URL encoded. But don't worry too much about that because we're going to have a magic.
Why write it down? Why write it down if you don't
that takes care of this? And so if you were to hit this URL, you type it in the exact right way in your browser, you will get back a JSON document. It's an object that has key value pairs. The first value is the status, then it has these results, and it's a list, and you dive down, and eventually you can kind of find the latitude and longitude of the thing that you are looking for. And so the idea is, can we write a program that can read this? And so here's our little program that reads
Obviously we can. All right, cool. So let's write this down, I guess. I don't know where he came up with this because he didn't say so, because, you know, he's not... God bless him. Anyway, yeah, because look at this crap. Look at this garbage right here. In fact, we're going to replace this with ChatGPT's version because this is trash. Absolute garbage. Stay in the cubicle. But that's not the American way. All right. Here we go. Let's grab this. Copy that. Nah, never mind. I'd take it back because you know what? Because he wasn't in the cubicle, right? Because he wasn't in the cubicle and he did this, the code man was able to take his gobbledygook and turn it into something we all could use. So thank you for your efforts, Chuck. Anyway, so let's keep going. Let's drag this stuff down and make it look a little bit more presentable, more professional, more like we're trying to earn a living with it. All right. So there we go. Now let's go back here and let's do this. So let's write this stuff down. because I don't know where he cooked this, how he cooked this up, or what he did to get this. Did he just write it? Where did he get this information? You know, what did you go find? Where'd you get that? Oh, did he get it from here? This thing here told him that this is how you do it. Is that what's going on? I guess that's what. Let's say that's what happened, right? That way it's not so mystical. All right, so let's write this stuff down. I don't know why I just got pissed off. Oh yeah, because of this thing. Oh yeah, so fragile. All right, let's do this. Example. All right, example like that. And let's come down here and let's say http://maps.google.api.com/maps/api/geocode/json?address equals and plus arbor %, %2 capital C plus MI, whatever that is. But it's oh yeah, what is it? This is API code. I don't remember. Anyway, so what it will give back is this. What are we gonna do here? Example. What is this? Is this the API itself? Let's go ask ChatGPT. All right. Where you at, chat? Where you at, ChatGPT? What is this? API endpoint. It's an API endpoint. Okay, so that's what it's called. Let's write that down. API endpoint. All right, we got that. And now let's write this stuff down and ask what ChatGPT says this is. All right, so let's do that. Whew. Let's get to it. All right, we'll do it here. Whoops. So we've got this first one. Status equals okay. Whoops, not PL. Okay. There we go. Now we've got, oops, just one over. All right. Hold on. Okay, so we've got results. And then inside here, we've got a set of curly braces under the S. Like that. All right. And then after that, under the S in results, right here, we've got a thing that says geometry. Let's grab this. No, let's not do that. All right, where are we? Here's results. Okay, geometry goes here. All right, so let's say geometry inside of quotes. And do this. Another set of curly braces after that. All right. So let's say geometry. All right. Geometry. Yeah, that's what it is. All right. So now we're going to drop this one down. Come over here to under the M. And what we're going to say here. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. What we're going to say here is location type approximate. All right. Location underscore type approximate. That's not it. Approximate. Okay. And then we need a comma after that. And we're going to do it again. Actually, let's do a comma after that. do it again and put the location. All right, so let's grab this stuff, copy it. Actually, grab this stuff, grab from here to here, copy it, drop it off right after the comma. All right, then we've got location type. We'll turn this into location. All right, and then we'll do, instead of approximate, we'll do another set of curly braces. So much. All right, let's tab it over. We're going to go under the A, no, under the C. That's where we are right here. We're going to do latitude and longitude. So lat equals 42.2808256, comma. We're going to take this, copy it, drop it off, and then we'll say LNG, LNG, and that's going to be negative 83 point whatever, right? So negative 83.743037, pardon me, 78. Boom. All right, so there's that, and that's one of the curly braces. This one's going to be dropped off under this location thing right here. All right, so now we're over here. What? Oh, this one is going to have a comma after it, and we're going to be under this one right here. So let's put a comma, space, bring it down, and let's do this again. So we can just take all this stuff we just did. What? No, I guess we can't. Give me a second. Oh my God, this is so much. Ugh. But I guess, you know what? Whatever. Remember, this guy, Chuck, he's typed more words than we've said in our lives, right? Let's just say it like that. All right, so here's this crap. So what we want to do here, I don't think we can't really, it's not the exact same. So we can't just take this and put it down here because it's not exactly the same. What a pain. But it is what it is. All right, so here we're at this comma. All right, so we're at this comma right here. So now under this, we're going to come over here and say, oops, address components, address underscore components. All right. And then we're going to have another set of brackets because we're making a list or whatever. I don't know if it's a list or what. Hold on. This bracket is this bracket. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. All right. So this bracket is not that bracket. Let's bring this bracket back so we know we've got this bracket here. All right. So we've got this address components. We're going to bring this over, and under the R, we're going to do a curly brace, a set of curly braces. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to say under the, right here under the underscore, we're going to do the quotes. We'll say long underscore name. We'll do a colon. We'll do Ann Arbor, comma, bring it down. We'll do this. We'll do comma, space. We'll take this and that, copy it, drop it like this. All right. And then we'll change this to types. The long name is going to be types now. Types. Ann Arbor is going to be a set of brackets. All right. There we go. So fun, right? All right. So we've got that. Also, for some reason, this is over one. I don't know why. But it is. It is on here. I don't know why though. Oh, it's the same with this one too. I guess that's just the formatting. Okay. Okay, so we've got that types right here. It's got a set of brackets. We're gonna come down here, we're gonna say under the P, we're gonna do quotes. We'll say locality, comma. We'll take this from here to here, copy it, drop it off, go to the front, and say space, and then return locality to political. Okay. Political. Okay. And we will get rid of this comma, drop this down, bring the bracket over to under this right here. This quote, put a comma after it. Oh my goodness. This is a lot of BS, isn't it? All right, so now let's come over here to the bracket. Let's say short name in quotes, short underscore name in quotes. Would it be cool if there was some way to do this automatically? Like some sort of automation? Well, we're not there yet, so we're still chumps typing stuff out. So that's why we're learning programming, so we don't have to do this more than one more time. All right, so let's put this curly brace right here, right under this curly brace right here. All right, so that looks good. All right, let's drop this down. All right, so now we're going to put this bracket under, I can't tell if that's under the A or under the, let's drop this down, under the quote. So let's just move it over and put it where we kind of think it needs to go, because I can't tell. And then under here, we'll do another set of quotes. We're going to say here, formatted address, formatted underscore address. And then we're going to say over here, Ann Arbor. No, yeah, Ann Arbor, comma, MI, comma, USA, comma, after that. And then we're going to have types right here. No, like this. Okay. Types. What the hell? Why is there an extra quote here? What's this quote from? Nothing. Let's just say it's nothing. We'll get ChatGPT to fix it later. And then we've got some more brackets. And then we're going to say under the P, we're going to say locality, comma. Come back over here. We're going to do political. Political. Okay. Drop this down. Where'd this extra curly brace come from? All right, we're going to get ChatGPT to fix this up. We'll get ChatGPT to fix this up. All right, let's do this. Let's come over to ChatGPT and let's say format this correctly. Boom. Copy the code. Let's bring it back over here. We're going to have to do a lot of spaces, but you know, it is what it is. There's that. Let's make this bigger. Let's undo it. Let's drop this here. Ooh. Let's drop this here. All right. And we'll move it over. Let's just tab it over. Huh? Huh? Why is it like that? Let's go over here. Oh, we forgot this curly brace. This curly brace is this curly brace. Okay. Anyway, so let's keep it going. All right, let's tab this over. 1, tab 2, down, home, down, home, down, home, down, home, tab, down, home, tab, down, tab, down, home, tab, down, tab, down, home, tab, down, home, tab, down, tab, down, home, tab. If there's only a way to automate this, right? If only. Oh, whatever. Look, this is the look. Every time we have to do this crap, it's going to be the last time we have to do this crap, or something. All right, there's that. Let's get this hard work that we did and replace it with this other hard work that we did. Yeah. Oh my God, do we need to tab it over twice? I think we did. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Oh, that's fine. All right, so there we go. Now we got this, and we're going to call this... Okay, what do we call this then? JSON. Okay, we'll call that the JSON. What do we call that when it's retrieved from the API endpoint? Response, API response, the JSON response. Okay, so let's do that. Give me a second. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. Let's call that JSON response. JSON response. Okay. So there we go. We've got that. We got that. Now let's see what else do we need. That's it. All right. That's good enough. All right. So that's good enough for now. Let's come over here and play some more of this video. Wait, no, we were over here, weren't we? Yeah, we were here. Oh, God. Oh, we got to write all this too. Oh, welcome to work. 2-minute video yesterday. Today it's going to be 3 hours. Oh. Oh my God. All right. I think I'm going to make this a 2-parter because even though it's only been 27 minutes we've been recording, I am not feeling it right now because I didn't drink any coffee. And because look at this. It's just one thing after another. Anyway, so we're good. I'll get back to this in a little bit and we'll see you then. So we're back with this. Let's write this down to start off with. All right. So let's get this. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should have taken a longer break. Anyway, whatever. Let's go. So let's do this. We can't ask ChatGPT what this is until we say it. So what is this? Let's go. Let's hear what he says this is, and then let's write it down. This is the Python, right? Because we're importing. So this has got to be Python. Let's go back and see what he says, and then let's do what we got to do.
Write a program that can thing that you are looking for. And so the idea is, can we write a program that can read this?
Okay.
And so here's our little program that reads this. And a lot of this is sort of...
Okay. Let's write example Python. Program. Okay, let's see how I'm formatting it. Okay. 2 spaces. And then we'll say, okay. Let's say Python. Python utilizing API. All right, let's do that. And then let's write this stuff down. So here we go. Import URL library.request. Do we have this already? It's too far up there. We can't just find it. Can we? Hold on. Up. URL lib. Find it. One more. Okay, there we go. No. Okay, cool. We can do this. Let's take that's we could have typed it out faster. Anyway, whatever. Let's go take this because this is what we need, right? Parse. Yep. Let's take that. Oh my goodness. We could have typed it out faster. I understand this, but you gotta go through it to get to it, right? Let's go import JSON. All right, so service URL equals. All right, we're gonna say, no, it's single quotes. Give me a second. Ugh, I gotta mentally prepare myself for all this typing. Okay, let's do it. All right, HTTP, because not only am I going to be typing, but I'm going to be erasing a lot too. maps.googleapis.com/maps/API/geocode/JSON ? Okay, that's a cool. I guess that's cool. So this service URL variable is going to be a string with this stuff in it. So this is the stuff that we would be looking for here, right? This is the same thing, right? Yes. Okay, so we've got that. And now what we're going to do is say while true, while capital true, we'll have, and let's put this under the E, address equals input, and then we're going to have enter location. Okay. And let's take this and let's drop, how many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 24. All right. So let's do this. Let's take this and drop it off 23 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. There we go. So let's go. If lin address, that's not it. Address is less than 1. We're going to break. Okay. Go down to URL equals service URL plus URL lib dot parse. Give me a second. Dot parse dot URL encode. All right. And then we're going to say address like that. We'll say address here. Okay. Let's go down 2. And let's say print. And we're going to print retrieve IEVING. Retrieving, and then also the URL. URL encode address. I mean, I kind of get what's going on. It's got to be address. Oh, address. It's going to be taking this address, right? Where? Huh? Where did we have? We had to have had an address, right? Huh? All right, we'll figure this out later. We're going to print that back up. Then we're going to say UH, I hate that. UH equals URL lib dot request dot URL open URL. All right. Then we're going to say data equals dot read dot decode. What's UH stand for though? We'll ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT is definitely going to know. All right, so now we're going to do print retrieved, comma, len data comma. And we're going to have characters after that in a string. Cool. Oops. Let's say try. So we're going to try JS equals all right, first we're going to try. We'll say try, where are we? JS equals JSON.loads data. All right, we're going to say except. No, right here we're going to say except. We'll do JS equals none. All right, so try and accept like that. All right, so let's do this. Let's go down to if not JS or status not in JS or JS status does not equal OK. We're going to print. We're going to print the string quad equals 1 2 3 4 space failure to retrieve. Oops. Okay. We're going to print data on the next line, and then we're going to continue. Almost done. Here we go. Lat equals JS. All right. Results. JS at results at 0. At geometry. At, that's not how you spell anything. Okay, geometry at locations. Location, there we go. At lat. Whoops, how do we do it? Lat. All right, and we'll just take this and drop that here. We'll call LNG, right? Take this, copy it, paste it. Right? Right. Okay. So there we go on that. Why is it the exact same one though? Oh, at lat at launch. Okay, I get it. Then we're going to print lat, the string lat, and then the what is it called? Variable lat, and we're going to put the string longitude. We've got that right there. And we're going to put longitude, the variable, in there also. All right, and then we're going to say location equals JS. We're going to have the string results. 0 formatted address. Okay, results. 0. All right, formatted address, formatted underscore address. Okay. And then we're going to print location. And when I press down, there's nothing else. So it looks like we've got all the lines where we need them. Okay. So I think we can understand this. It's not too hard. So let's go over this. Let's go over it on the black screen because it's a little easier on the eyes. What? Actually, let's do this. Let's actually print this stuff out too. Let's type this stuff out, I should say. So let's get the notes out. Where is this located? At the print, at the middle print. So right about here. So let's just tab it over. And let's type that. Okay. Here we are. So we're going to say enter location Ann Arbor, Michigan. All right. Then we're going to say here retrieving http://maps.googleapis.com/ ... And that's just because we don't want to type it out. I'm sure it would do the real thing if we were making the actual, if we were doing this on the computer itself. Let's do retrieved 1669 1x1669 characters. All right. We've got lat. Whoops. We got lat. Come on now. One more time. We're feeling what we got. Lat 42.2808256. LNG negative 83.7430378. And then we'll say right here, Ann Arbor, MI, USA. And then it'll say enter location to do it again. There we go. All right. Oh, so there we go. That's what would happen if we ran the thing. So let's do this. Let's go through it again. So we're right here. We're importing the URL library request, URL library parse, URL library error. We know from asking ChatGPT, we don't actually need this stuff. It's just a holdover from the old days. Then we've got import JSON. Then service URL. That's this variable right here is a string of, actually we need to start from way up here. All right. Woo. Oh man. Making these videos is what I do and what I'm doing right now. All right. So, this right here is the same as this right here. The API endpoint, all the way up to this question mark, right? So that's what this service URL is. So while true, error address equals input enter location. While true, address equals input enter location. So that's what this is, interlocation. And then whatever we do with that, that's what the address is going to be. So if the length of the address is less than 1, we're going to break out of the thing. So, yeah, if there's nothing here and you press enter, it's just going to end the program right there. All right, that's what this was for. Then we've got URL equals service URL plus URL library dot parse dot URL lin code, this thing right here. So it's going to take the parse out of, I think, request or this, I don't know. You know what? We should go through ChatGPT. We should ask ChatGPT. Although I know how to do that. I can look. Okay, if I do, ChatGPT is cool for the first few times, but we got to rely on ourselves at some point. URL service URL plus URL library dot parse dot URL encode address. Okay, we're gonna ask ChatGPT. Let's take this. Yeah, let's take this. Oh, goodness. I got an idea. Let's do this. Let's take this and see if ChatGPT knows how to read this. It'll be a good little exercise. Do you know what this is? All right, we'll get to that. Can you tell that? What about the stuff that says interlocation on the line that says print? On the line that says this. All right, cool. Okay, so you understand. Okay, so you understand what's up. Now show me the correct code with comments where you changed it and explain it line by line in simple terms. Let's see if it can do that. Okay. So it put a bunch of comments everywhere, but whatever. Oh, no, it did it line by line in the code. Oh, no, what? Whatever. All right, so importing necessary libraries, that's this. This is import JSON, that's this. Service URL. The base URL for the Google Maps in geocoding API usually requires an API key, which is missing here, right? So there's no API key. All right, we'll figure out what that means later. Start an infinite loop that keeps asking for input until the user enters nothing. So while true, ask the user to enter the location right here. If the user enters nothing, break out of the loop and stop asking. Gotcha. Makes sense? Pardon me. So now we're going to, if the user enters, so we're going to build the full API by encoding the address into a URL friendly format. Okay. URL lib.parse.url encode turns the address into something that can go in a URL. It's a little more words than I wanted. Build the full API URL by encoding the address into URL friendly format. So this is URL friendly format, I guess. Okay. URL lib.parse.url encode turns the address into something that can go in a URL. Okay. But where's the address? Is the question I have. Anyway, pardon me. Display the constructed URL to the user. So print retrieving URL. Okay. Oh, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Huh? I'm so confused. I'm confused. I'm feeling weird. There's going to be a part 3 of this because you know what? I can do that. And also, I'm feeling weird and confused. The weird part is, I don't know. It might be from the situation I got going on over here at the house, or something else. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to cut this one short, and then we'll come back to this. I don't know. It doesn't matter because on the video, it's just going to be a 5-second break. But I'll be back in just a little bit, all right? All right. So I'm back. I don't really remember where we were, and I didn't really look to see where we were. But it had to have been something about typing this out and explaining it. Let's just listen to him talk about it. And remember, I'm not the teacher. I'm just another student. I'm just another student writing down some notes. So let's do this.
Comfortable. You've already seen some of it. It says, can we write a program that can read this? And so here's our little program that reads this. And a lot of this is sort of comfortable. You've already seen some of this. You import URL lib. We have to parse them JSON. We grab the URL. And then we're going to write a little while loop that's going to ask for a location. And we can type that location in. And we've got to concatenate with this URL the location equals. And there is a bit of code, a library that called parse URL encode that takes the key and the value. So the address equals, and then whatever this text is that we read in from the user, that goes in here. And it does that URL encoding with the pluses and the %2c and all that stuff is taken care of. And that is our URL that we're going to pass
that's what's going on
to URL open. So we print out that we're going to retrieve it, prints this out. And if you look at this, it's too long. It has all that fancy stuff on it. And then we read it. We open it with URL open, and then we read it and decode it. So these two things, hit this URL, decode it, and then we retrieved 1669 characters, because it's just in this case, because we've decoded it, data is a string now. That's read is bytes and data is a string. So we read that many characters, 1669 characters. And then we're going to take this data and we're going to parse it with JSON. And we might get bad data here. It might blow up, but it might work. And so in this case, it works. We have an error that basically says if we got a bad thing, we're going to blow up. But in this case, it doesn't blow up. And so now we're going to sort of dig through. And if you go back, let me just...
He's exasperated. Look, what about us? If not JS or status not in JS or JS status does not equal okay, this stuff. Why not go over this? We're fresh, aren't we? But I don't know. Let's keep going. If not JS, if this doesn't work, if JS equals none, okay, or status not in JS, wherever status would be, I don't know. If there's no status in here, or JS at status does not equal okay. So there's going to be a status somewhere in this loads thing. I guess this is making an object. And there's going to be a JS status equaling okay in there somewhere. We're going to say failure to receive data. Okay, retrieve data. I guess that's what that's saying right there. So let's keep going. So
the results, sub-zero, geometry. Let's show you how that works. So results is the first key. So this is a dictionary with a key of results. But
okay, and look, we see the status okay right here. That's what's given to us when we do this call, right? This is the API that comes back when we ask for it, right? That's what's going on? No, this is the JSON. This is the JSON that comes back when we ask Google this through the API implementation. They give us this JSON, and then there's going to be a status equals okay. That's what he's talking about. Okay, let's go.
But then it has a list, and the 0 item, this list starts here and goes there, and I'm only going to show part of it, but there's many things here. So the 0 item is this. This is the sub-zero. Yep. And then geometry within that sub-zero item. So if we look at that, it is the outer dictionary, the first item in the list, sub-geometry. Yep. So that grabs one part. That grabs
sublocation, sublat. That's what he's going to say, but I'm not going to skip it. I just want to go over that. So it's results at, and then results, we're in a list. So list of 0, results at 0. The list has dictionaries of the elements. So results at 0, at geometry, at location, because these are all dictionaries inside of here, at latitude or at longitude, right? So there we go.
This part right here. And then we're going to go into location and lat. And those are just keys within keys, a dictionary within a dictionary.
True.
And so you see it says sublocations.
Yeah. So results at 0 in the list, at geometry in the dictionary, at location in the dictionary, at latitude in the dictionary. Lat's this, and that's what we printed out according to this right here. We print out lat this, then we'll do the same thing with longitude here. And then we're also going to say location equals JS, results at 0, formatted address. Okay, so let's keep going.
Sublat. And so that is literally going to pull out of that complex structure, that will pull.
All right, so it said something like, what did it say? Address something. Formatted address, Ann Arbor, Michigan, USA, right? So that's what it was pulling out.
The latitude out, and then in the next line, pull the longitude out. So we can pull the latitude and longitude out, and then we print it out. We can go into results.
So we're good. Let's watch this and be bored.
And that goes into results 0, formatted address, and that pulls this little bit out. Now, it takes a little while to write this stuff, and you have to put a lot of debug, and you don't necessarily figure out this complex bit here at the end. But, you know, you print it, you don't get what you want. You say, oh, wait a sec, that was an array, so I got to add a little sub-0 there to get the first one out of the array. But eventually you figure it out. And it's not all that difficult. It's the first few times you do it, I'm like, what am I doing? But after a while you realize, oh, I'm just sort of tearing this apart and digging deeper and deeper into this data structure, which I just retrieved over the internet from Google. And I learned something good from that.
True.
So up next.
What's up next? Okay, let's write this down anyway before we end the video. So let's come over here and let's type that down. Pardon me. All right, so API security and rate limit. Okay. API security and rate limiting. All right. What does this say? Oh, give me a second. Got a yawn. The compute resources to run the compute resources, okay, to run these APIs are not free. I guess, okay, we'll see what he's talking about. The data provided by these APIs is usually valuable. The data providers might limit the number of requests per day, demand an API key, or even charge for usage, True. But there's always ways to get around stuff. They know people people starting off are poor. They know this. These guys with the API, so they'll let us use their stuff to build a business. You know what I'm saying? They'll let us use it to build a business so that we can pay for it later. I mean, it's like a lost leader at the stores where they sell like something for cheap to get you in there to go buy something for expensive later, something like that. Anyway, let's go. They know we'll come back. Loyalty is more valuable than money. They might change the rules as things progress. True. And they will. They will. Depending on how large your company gets, how much you're using, and blah, 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 blah. All right. So there's that. Let's listen to him talk about it.
We're going to talk about how sometimes these APIs protect themselves with keys or signatures, and why that happens and how to solve those problems.
Okay. So there we go. That's a little cliffhanger for tomorrow's video. So let's go on to the question and finish this one up. Question, what does API stand for? Application Portable Intelligence. Incorrect. Associate Programming International. No, thank you. Application Program Interface. I guarantee it's that one. Action Portable Interface. Also stupid. It's going to be C. Check the answer. Looks good. And submit it. All right. So now we're on to web services, API, rate limiting, and security. And we'll see you next time.